coming up next right here on the Fortminorproject channel, I'll be giving you 2-for-1 here, my WWE NXT Takeover Brooklyn predictions. Not only that, but my SummerSlam 2015 pay-per-view predictions on top of that. So 2-for-1 right here on the Fortminorproject channel. And you know what's coming up next? Roll that damn intro.
Inside me, a light was turned on. Then I was alive. If you close your eyes, your life, and if your truth revealed, the dreams you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. And find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes.
Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back at it again in here for another video. Of course, giving you my NXT TakeOver Brooklyn predictions first, and then my SummerSlam 2015 pay-per-view predictions, thoughts and opinions right after that. And just wanted to make a quick announcement too, since I was going to be looking to do In the Hot Seat Live for this month, but we had some plans going on too for this month on top of that, so I wasn't going to really have like two live specials going into that. So we will be going live on Simon Eka HD's channel, which will be on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So definitely join us for that. We will be talking all things SummerSlam and getting hyped up and ready for the pay-per-view, which will be coming this Sunday. And I'm sure we'll be talking about NXT TakeOver with that said. So definitely join us on his channel. So I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. I might do a live review, let you share about that, and I might do it as like I'm doing right now, having 2-for-1 here, and we'll see what happens with the review on that. But I will be back this weekend, of course, definitely talking about both shows, so it definitely should be interesting. So getting into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and something that I would have loved to have gone to, it's kind of kicking me in the ass. I wish I would have went to the show, but unfortunately I will be watching it here at home. And same thing with not only with NXT, but for SummerSlam and for Raw. So there's always next time, hopefully, and I'll get to go to my first SummerSlam and NXT show, and for that matter, for Raw too. And let's get right down into it, starting things off with the match that I am going to kick things off with, the tag team titles, which will be on the line. The Vaudevillains are going head to head with Blake and Murphy, and I feel like the Vaudevillains will have their time and be able to become NXT Tag Team Champions. I think it's the right time for them to be tag team champions, since Blake and Murphy have been holding those titles for quite some time, and them being with Alexa Bliss is actually really cool, with them having a manager and everything, having this different side of Alexa Bliss, and hopefully she'll be able to wrestle again soon. She really hasn't been done that for a while, so and that's something new, and I like that, her being the heel and everything. So overall, I do see the Vaudevillains get the win. Then with the next match, where we have Tyler Breeze and Jushin Thunder Liger actually returning, so that's really cool. And first time I think he's been able to show up at NXT, so that's gonna be something. And seeing these two go at it, since Tyler Breeze has been wanting something going for him, especially for NXT Takeover, so this is really cool. It could really go either way between the two, but I'm actually gonna go towards more Tyler Breeze on this one, just to see where he's going to go and eventually get that NXT World Title shot, hopefully sometime this year, which I kind of see happening, and we'll see what goes down with that. So there you have it with that match, and then we get into the women's side of things for the women's championship, the NXT Women's Championship, which will be on the line, where we have Sasha Banks and Bayley going head to head. And with this one, since Sasha Banks has been more on the main roster and everything, and in the way, if you want to put it this way, pulling double duty, so she'll be at NXT and SummerSlam. So I do see a new NXT Women's Champion in Bayley. I wouldn't mind seeing that whatsoever. I think she does deserve it, and that would be nice to see. So there's that too. So that's who I'm going with. And then we have the main event, where we have the NXT World Heavyweight Championship on the line in a ladder match, rematch with Beast in the East, with Kevin Owens going at it with Finn Balor. And with this one, even though it would be cool to see Kevin Owens NXT champion again, this basically goes into same thing with Sasha Banks, since not only her and Kevin Owens are on the main roster, so I feel like Kevin Owens will win a championship on the main roster side of things. So, overall, I do see Finn Balor getting the win and retaining his World Championship, and there you have it with that. I did hear that we might see an appearance from, I think, Hideo Itami. I'm sure that will probably happen maybe with the injury update, since it has been a while since we did see him. So hopefully things are going well with him, and he will return. So there's that with that option. So there's that with the NXT Takeover Brooklyn predictions. So definitely let me know on what you're looking forward to for NXT Brooklyn, and definitely should be a great show as always. Always look forward to those shows for NXT. So definitely, without a doubt, not to disappoint. Then we got into the SummerSlam 2015 pay-per-view predictions and preview, and we got 10 matches on the card. And I don't remember SummerSlam where they had 10 matches, and this is going to be 4 hours. So with it being 4 hours, it's actually shaping up to be pretty cool, and looking forward to SummerSlam. And we also do have a host now that's going to be for Jon Stewart, so that's pretty cool, I guess. You know, being able to see him at SummerSlam and doing the host, and he'll probably kick off the show like when The Rock did it, and how he did his hosting thing and so on and so forth. So I do expect a promo or something like that, but there it is when it comes to it, so that's pretty cool. But going overall with the main card and what we have with the first match that I am going to be predicting here, Stephen and Mel from Arrow and Neville going up against King Barrett and Stardust. Now this should be interesting. Definitely one of the matches that I am looking forward to, since this whole thing with Stephen and Mel now being from Arrow and now looking to be a superstar just for SummerSlam, and this guy can really go to, especially watching Arrow, one of my favorite shows to watch on CW. I'm looking into watching the next season, which hasn't been on Netflix yet, so definitely either watch it on Netflix or Hulu Plus if you haven't already, and check it out. Definitely a really badass show, so dope there. So of course, I'm looking for Stephen Amell and Neville to get the win over King Barrett at Stardust. So this should be interesting. And Stephen Amell, from what I learned and did some research on, I believe he is an actual WWE fan, which is really cool there. So looking forward to see, maybe we'll get to see the costume, the Arrow costume and stuff like that. Just the entrance alone should be dope. I cannot wait to see what's going to be going down for that. So that should be definitely interesting. Then next we got the returning Dolph Ziggler going head to head with Rusev on this one. I thought we were going to see a mixed intergender tag team matchup with Dolph Ziggler and Lana and Rusev at Summer Rae, but it's just a regular singles match, so I'm fine with that too. It should be interesting between the two. So I'm sure Dolph Ziggler will be able to help out Lana here and take out Rusev. And if Rusev does win, I guess that's fine. But I do see, actually, to be honest, Dolph Ziggler getting the win. So there you have it with that. Then we have the Divas match, which we thought we were gonna see it at Battleground or at least Survivor Series, but now we're gonna see it at SummerSlam. That's right, the 9 Diva Elimination Tag Team match where Team Bad, Team Bella, and Team PCB, of course, Paige, Charlotte, and Baker were able to have their name changed, which kind of sucks because I like the Submission Sorority name, but unfortunately that's taken. But overall, who do I see winning? It can either go to Team PCB or Team Bad, but I'm looking forward into seeing Team PCB actually walking away with the win. And this whole Divas Revolution thing is actually really cool, and I like how we're seeing other, not only just feuds, but just different matchups each time. And it's nice to see something fresh and new, and hopefully we'll see other NXT Divas get into the main roster and everything to make it even more exciting, which is definitely well deserved for the Divas, and that's what I like for women's wrestling, to see stuff like that go down, and fans are actually getting more invested, which is cool with me, so that's what I like about that. And overall, Team PCB for the win. Then what I think would be one of the matches of the night, and the matchup that I am also looking forward to, like the Divas match, is Kevin Owens and Cesaro. Should be a great match between these two, and this has been going on for quite some time now. And with Cesaro being out on his own, and since Tyson Kidd is out with injury right now, unfortunately, which sucks, so hopefully he'll be able to have a speedy recovery. It seems like things are going pretty fine for him in the recovery process from what I learned, so I wish Tyson Kidd well, and maybe we'll get to see Tyson Kidd and Cesaro go at it in the tag team again, for sure. But Cesaro doing things in the singles run is actually really cool. Same thing with Kevin Owens being a badass. I really enjoy his character and everything. So between these two, it could go really either way. I wouldn't be mad whatsoever on who wins both sides of the fence. So with this one, I kind of want to see Cesaro get the win here, but if Kevin Owens wins, hey, that's cool with me, and I wouldn't have problems with that whatsoever. But I can only pick one, then I'm definitely gonna go with Cesaro on this one. But my opinion can change, and we'll see on how that would surprise me in the end with the result. And next we have Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose going up against Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt, basically family and family going head to head. And a while ago I was able to talk to my friend Austin predicting this match and what I think would happen. And I kind of see Eric Rowan actually returning, kind of like when Luke Harper returned at Battleground, and kind of like being like a mask, well not really a masked man, but a guy in the hoodie and everything, and kind of being mysterious and then revealing himself that way. So I kind of see that, and if Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper end up getting the win, that's probably how it would go down. So I kind of expect that to happen, but I'm not too sure on how Eric Rowan is doing and if he will be returning at SummerSlam. That's up in the air. But as far as who I want to see win. Most likely Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, but again, it's one of those matches where it doesn't matter to me who wins, since I like both teams and everything going into this, so it can go either or. And we know this is going to be a great match, most likely for sure, especially with the history between the Shield and the Wyatt family. So it's definitely going to be something interesting for sure. Then with the next match where we have Sheamus and Randy Orton, it's kind of interesting how this whole started at a SummerSlam not too long ago, and now they're going head to head again at this year's SummerSlam. So I feel like this would be the end between the feud between these two, but you never really know. So hopefully it will be ending up that way. I do see Randy Orton walking away with the win on this one, and as far as Sheamus cashing in, that could possibly happen. At SummerSlam, so maybe within the main event between the title for title match, which I will get into in a little bit in this video. So there's always that chance, and I don't think Sheamus will fail in that. I feel like he would be pretty successful, might I add, in becoming WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So we'll have to wait and see on how that's going to turn out. But as for Randy Orton and Sheamus is concerned, I am going with Randy Orton with the win here. Then with the next match where we have the tag team titles, which would be on the line between the Pipe-Time Players, Los Matadores, New Day, and Lucha Dragons. And to me, most likely either the Pipe-Time Players or the Lucha Dragons. If the New Day wins, that's fine, since I've been most likely, as you can tell, especially if you've been following me on Twitter and stuff, that I've been getting behind the New Day, and I really like them as stable in a team, and they really work well, and they're hella funny, and I was able to give a listen to Chris Jericho's podcast not too long ago, and the New Day were on there. So they're just really great as a stable, and I like where things are going for them. And them working at it as a heel team and stable is actually really cool. So if they do win, that's fine. But either or, either the Primetime Players or Lucha Dragons, I wouldn't mind seeing the Lucha Dragons get their win too, since I think it would be pretty cool to see that for them. Since they're pretty badass as a tag team, so that's just me. But overall, to pick one, most likely primetime players to retain, and I like them as tag team champions. So it's been a long time coming for them, and it's been since Elimination Chamber. So I do see them lasting a little bit longer too with the tag team title belts. Then next we got the IC Championship, which will also be on the line, which was supposed to happen at Battleground, but Ryback got injured. And then there was this whole thing, should Ryback keep the IC Championship? So he was able to keep that. And now we got the triple threat match happening between Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz. And it kind of seems like it's more between Ryback and the Big Show, more than Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz. That's just me and how I see how things are going with that. But it's still nice to see Ryback come back, and him being the Intercontinental Champion is actually pretty cool and something to keep him going, and I like that. So I do see Ryback retaining here, and I'm sure we'll probably get to see this continue into United Champions, probably either with Ryback and the Big Show or Ryback and the Miz. I wouldn't be surprised about that for next month's pay-per-view, but that's for next month, so we're not there yet. Anything can really happen from now up until then, as always. So Ryback is the guy that I'm going for to retain the IC Championship. Then with the next match could possibly be the main event, but I'm going at it with the co-main event, if you want to call it that way, and one of the main events anyway, between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, their rematch from WrestleMania 30. Definitely well worth looking out for, and something that I'm definitely looking forward into watching and seeing. And with this one, people were speculating if The Undertaker was a heel, especially when returning at Battleground and with the low blow and everything to Brock Lesnar. So there is that, especially when Brock Lesnar was facing looking to get the championship back from Seth Rollins. So unfortunately, that didn't go as planned for Brock Lesnar. And now with this whole thing, especially with the brawls too that they've been having lately, it's been awesome. I'm not too sure if we're gonna see the American Badass version of the Undertaker, but it seems kind of in between that and as well with his current gimmick that he's using right now. So it's gonna be cool seeing the Undertaker come back and be able to go head to head with Brock Lesnar. So again, one of those matches that could go either way. It's kind of a recurring thing too, especially with SummerSlam. But that's what makes it fun, especially with that. I do see actually Undertaker getting his payback and his revenge, and seeing how that's going to turn out. So I do see that happening. On top of that, Brock Lesnar can come back and be able to maybe get help with Paul Heyman, which I kind of doubt, but somehow, some way get the win, and then we'll see how that turns out. But overall, I do see Undertaker walking away with the win. That's just me, so there you have it there. Then what's looking to be the main event, most likely, title for title, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and as well United States Champion going head to head and winner take all, basically. John Cena and Seth Rollins, and we've seen this before for the United States Championship, but now it's for both titles. So with this one, basically all starting when Seth Rollins broke John Cena's nose, which is crazy as hell. So um, with that being said, who do I see winning? Most likely, I wouldn't be surprised if Seth Rollins actually retains and gets the United States Championship. And even though John Cena is looking to get the win and be six-time World Heavyweight Champion, uh, basically going with a tie with Ric Flair's world title win and everything. So maybe Ric Flair will be getting involved, and we'll get to see him and everything. Uh, Most likely towards the end of the match or something like that, even if he does show up at SummerSlam. So that should be interesting to see where this is going to go and everything. I don't know if John Cena is going to exactly win at Brooklyn. I kind of don't really see that, but I do definitely kind of see him winning the 16-time world title within this year. Not too sure about Brooklyn. That remains to be seen, but if it does happen, it is what it is, and can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. So there you have it with that. And it'll be kind of weird too, since Ric Flair is the only guy to be able to have 16-time world title runs and everything. So having two guys be able to do that, especially John Cena and Ric Flair, would be kind of getting weird to get used to that. So it'll take some time for me to adjust with that and everything. So, but like I said, it is what it is if it does happen. So can't really complain about that too much, or you know, whatever. So it is what it is, like I said, basically, when it comes to that. So Seth Rollins overall is my main pick, and yeah, that about does it for SummerSlam, and as well for NXT Takeover Brooklyn. What are your own thoughts and opinions? What do you think is to be going down for the matches, and who do you have your picks for and everything, and what are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to for SummerSlam? Do you think it's worthy of being a 4-hour show? Do you think it's going to be just for this whole one-time thing and then that'll be it? Or do you see it continuing? But yeah, that about does it for me. Definitely go check me out on Sound Like a HD's channel. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. I'll be there. Maybe I'll upload some of the stuff that we've been talking about on the show there on this channel. Not too sure. I might be back for a live review. Who knows? We'll see. But I definitely will be back over the weekend talking about NXT, Takeover Brooklyn, and SummerSlam, all most likely in one or a separate video. But I will be back overall to get my thoughts. So with that being said, enjoy this weekend for NXT and SummerSlam, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.